Imagine if I told you that only one phrase, only a few words said at the perfect time could ignite an instant, a woman's appeal, not because, on your appearance rather than your work, but since she heard what you said, feelings that she was unable to ignore. Imagine being able to communicate in a way that causes her to lean in, smile gradually, and begin observing you in a different way without attempting to captivate her or persuade her of anything. These 6 expressions are not deceptive, are instruments with psychological roots, sentiment, ageless human processes, and, when properly spoken, they cause a deep-seated curiosity, challenge, intrigue, and rewrite the story. When you realize how women emotionally connect, and you discover how to talk in a style that appeals to that emotional, you don't need to pursue anyone at all. Core. Once more, each word I'm going to disclose is intended to get her to consider you long after the discussion is over, and if you use these properly, women will feel as though they have found something uncommon. They won't want to let it go in you. Do anything before we enter the gold, strong backing for this channel, as doing so will allow you to, in addition to improving your own life, you're assisting in the creation of this kind of understanding millions of men in need can get. You have a distinct personality. To listen to males who are fed up with being disregarded, weary of the buddy zone, of never being seen when you lend your support. As we mature, we transform lives, his, mine, and yours. Let's move on to. Her heart leans in at the words, even before she understands why you said, I appreciate that you have a distinct personality. The majority of guys believe they must flatter to attract a woman's interest. They utter praises such as, you're really lovely, or you look fantastic. They anticipate that it will land tonight, although, every day, women hear terrible words. It's not that they dislike praise, the majority of them are void surfaces. Level of practice, they don't feel unique, since they don't actually touch anything, they don't evoke strong feelings, but, after that, you have a sentence, I admire your distinct style, and, all of a sudden, everything slowed down. Term serves as an attracting tool because it moves straight into the area of her body that longs for personal recognition rather than, it's subtle, simply attention detection. Enigmatic, surprising, and it compels her mind to take a strong action, makes her ponder about what you witnessed. It opens based on your feelings and observations, a mental cycle that doesn't go away. She will immediately begin looking through her own behavior and thoughts. What does he perceive about me as? Was the manner I conveyed that story special? My confidence and my chuckle, my ineptitude? And while doing so, she starts relating your words to your emotions. That is how powerful a compliment can be. Allows for curiosity, but you're not letting her know what you're displaying, sufficient to ignite a spark. That tension is heightened by mystery when pure magnetism when done correctly. So let's further deconstruct this. What do you truly mean by saying this? How do the way you use it doesn't sound cheesy? You utilize it consistently, not at random, it during an authentic moment of connection. Perhaps when she discloses something genuine, she shares a recollection from her early years, or she becomes animated when discussing a side endeavor, or she creates a odd yet witty joke that most people may overlook it. So you halt and allow, as you breathe, you maintain eye contact with her in an eerie manner while maintaining a serene vitality, and you speak gently as though you're observing anything uncommon. You have I enjoy your distinct style, which is the essential. Does your voice sound like you're saying it? Something in you appeals to me. Learn something useful about her, make it appear to be true. You simply discovered at that very moment. If you rush it or overstate it, it loses its impact. This phrase's power resides in how it's subtle, that you're not attempting to impress her by looking at her, and something is uncommon since nobody knows, indicates that the majority of women feel invisible on a certain emotional level, that they might receive admired for their appearance, but how frequently does anyone observe how they think? They chuckle about how they get excited when they discuss their passions, which is where this sentence is profound. It transcends. It says, physically, I see something in you I'm watching that most folks don't see. You stand out when you look closely. Additionally, the greatest part, it's not only how she feels compelled to demonstrate her appreciation. You will lean in if she gives you more of herself. She will emotionally tell more tales. She will begin removing layers because she feels as though she is with someone now who genuinely observes her essence, simply her look over time, she will connect you to the sensation of being profoundly seen, and that emotional mark is more powerful than any pickup line. Ostentatious flattery, boast, or flex. So, utilize this line, but employ it, make good use of it, when the situation is genuine. State it with the serene and grounded vitality of a guy who doesn't merely gaze, he knows she will never. I enjoy women who are self-aware. When she forgets that moment, she will never. I appreciate women who don't use the second phrase, understand their desires. This is among the most undervalued words a guy can say. That initially, it seems like a compliment, but fundamentally it's something more stronger. It's a silent challenge, a typical filter that most men, particularly when they're drawn to a women, naturally want to win her endorsement. They speak things they believe she wants to hear, that they concur too soon, they try too hard and smile too much, impress her in the hopes that they'll be kind. If they're clever or hilarious enough, she'll pick them. However, what does that accomplish without them recognizing that it now changes the energy? He is the one pursuing her, and she is the prize. Is auditioning and demonstrating his abilities. And if women are completely conscious of it, whether or not that energy becomes predictable and ultimately dull, yet when you examine, a woman's eyes are serene, collected, and self-assured, and you declare, I prefer ladies who understand what people desire. Everything shifts. You no longer want her approval. Instead of attempting to impress her, you're declaring a standard or preference, and that gently changes the topic of discussion from am I suitable for her, to is she what? You're expressing a standard or preference, I'm trying to find. It is a minor pivot, have a significant effect, as she is currently someone who qualifies herself for you, begins to question, do I appear confident to, do I seem to know what I'm doing, am I fulfilling his expectations? That internal inquiry is precisely what creates a deeper level of attraction, rather than you are perceived as selective merely, although, additionally, you're reiterating a message she rarely hears, that you're unavailable to anybody, and this is the psychology behind it. The reason this appeals to women so much, adore men with clarity, mental clarity, clarity of intent, and transparency in their principles. When you state, like women who are aware of their desires, you're showing that you're attracted to others' lucidity, which reflects the you possess self-awareness that makes you're dependable and strong-rooted, which is uncommon and really alluring at this moment. This phrase is most effective when used in times when she exhibits a certain amount of leadership or decisiveness. Perhaps she places audacious orders at a restaurant, perhaps she boldly expresses her viewpoint, perhaps she lets you know what she wants out of life. You look at that when you drop this sentence. You give her a small nod and say, I like ladies, and I say that quietly. You're communicating your values, who are aware of their desires. Then stop and allow, don't do anything further about it. You're not being gentle or sorry, you're only showing your need for her acceptance. Your values, and the times you hold them, line with serene energy. It produces a sort of emotional gravity, it draws her in the direction of. Additionally, it's really effective when she wants to know what kind of lady you are. Into the majority of guys would stumble and say, such as, I don't really have a lot of type, or I suppose someone who's pleasant. Instead, that's vaguely forgettable if you simply reply, I prefer women who understand their desires. You take two actions, you convey strength right away, and you challenge. She will now be evaluating herself in relation to your norm, and the important thing is to act after saying it, consistent with it. If she's unsure, avoid chasing if you're uneasy or erratic, because if you pursue a person who doesn't fit your standard, you uttered your remarks aloud. Reduce weight. However, if you maintain your composure, steady and composed, she'll sense the distinction. She will realize you're not simply said, you're living up to that ideal. That's when she begins to work her magic, putting more effort into the discussion. She opens up and leans forward a bit more. She starts to desire to be regarded as the it's allure type of lady who is aware of her desires. Furthermore, that isn't manipulation, it's magnetism. It's a constructive relationship where both individuals are taking on each other's vitality without engaging in games. So, don't talk to impress, instead, talk to convey your principles. And this one easy, I appreciate women who are aware of their wish, will change the course of events from you pursuing her and pondering how to maintain. Phrase 3, which piques your curiosity, is the thing I enjoy best about you is this. That's what I appreciate most about you. It may appear Straightforward but extremely powerful when, used appropriately. It's a statement that changes you, from someone who gives superficial compliments, into a man who sees her in real life. And for the majority of women that had this experience are uncommon, you see, an emotionally uncommon and unforgettable. The majority of praises given to women are based on her style, may be seen from the way she looks, her grin, and those affirmations, feel happy right now, but they don't. Sticks don't evoke strong feelings. The reason they don't leave an imprint is, every man is aware of appearances. It doesn't require expertise or emotional bond to express you're lovely, yet it requires presence and consciousness to express the passion you possess when discussing your objectives. That's what I appreciate most about you, the distinction between being forgettable and making this phrase memorable. It's a mirror work, since it's more than a simple compliment. The mirror is what you're reflecting. There's something genuine about her that goes. Help this channel by liking, subscribing, and by leaving a comment. You are assisting us.